What's going on, guys? This is Chris, back with another video. In today's video, I'm doing a review of the Old Town Topwater 120 PDL. I've had the pleasure now to use this kayak for the past couple months. Shout out to Joshua Taylor. The link to his channel will be in the description box below. This is his personal kayak and he's allowed me to use it since he got his new Autopilot 120. I've come to really love this setup. It's fast, it's stable, and it's really a kayak that you should be looking at if you're in the market for purchasing one. A lot of people think that Old Town actually did away with the Topwater 120. But that is not the case. This is still going to be a premier kayak that they sell on their website. It's going to be a little bit different than their updated model, and I believe it's going to be cheaper, so it might be a good option for you. Now let's start off up front here at the front hatch. Old Town designed a carrying handle right here. Now I don't particularly love this design. I like the handle where it's like this, lined up with the kayak. I find that it's a lot easier to lift in and out of the bed of our trucks, but this handle does well. We've had no problems with it. It's sturdy, you know, it hasn't broke or it doesn't flex a lot, so I'm happy that it's strong and sturdy. I'm not happy exactly with the design. Now here you got a nice front hatch. Old Town designed this to open with one hand, so you could just take one hand, you can open up your hatch, and you can keep anything in this hatch. You can actually reach all the way down into your hull. You can put life vest in here. I actually put my rod condoms in here whenever we're going out. Josh has, you know, just some miscellaneous things like some rain gear in here for if the rain ever decided to hit you. Now, it is a huge hatch. It's a little bit overkill, but it works great. If you're somebody that's in the market for a kayak with some dry storage inside the hull, this is definitely going to be a model that you're going to want to look at. Now let's go back here. This is the PDL drive. This is where all your money is pretty much going to be spent. I mean, this PDL drive revolutionized the kayak industry when it came out. I believe it came out 2 or 3 years ago. Don't quote me on that, but people loved it. It was the best kayak drive for ICAST, I believe like 2016 or 2017, and still today it's an amazing drive. Very low maintenance. Old Town actually advertised that it's pretty much no maintenance at all, which I believe is true. You know, you might just want to spray some grease on it here and there. Josh has never had any problems with it. I've never had any problems with it out on the water. It works flawlessly forward and reverse. These pedals, super comfortable. They're just the right size. Your foot can fit on there. It's not overkill or anything like that. Now, when you are pedaling this kayak, it's a little bit stiffer at first. So if you've never used a pedal drive kayak or you're used to other models where it's really loose, this is a very stiff. Whenever you start to paddle, it's very hard, but it really gets that propeller moving and it gets you going fast. So great PDL drive system. Also integrated into the drive, you get a nice dry storage compartment. This dry storage compartment works flawlessly. We've dumped buckets of water on it. No water has gotten on my phone whatsoever. If you have a phone, wallet, or keys, this is gonna be where you wanna keep them in this kayak. Don't keep them in your tackle bags or anything like that. Trust this dry box because it works. So I'm gonna go ahead, put this PDL drive system in the water, and you're gonna see how easy it actually is to use. All you do, Old Town to put a nice little handle here, nice and sturdy. You just literally pull down on it and it kind of unclicks from its lock position. This is actually a patent design by Old Town and it works really good. And then all you do, well, we gotta get in a little bit deeper water here, but you just push it down and then it drops in like that. And you lock it with a couple clicks and you're good to go. Now, Old Town did design this kayak perfect for water to get inside of it. So if you look down here, you can see your seam here for your drive, and water will actually come up through that sometimes, and that was a knock that a lot of people had on this kayak, but it drains out every single time with no problem because they have two scupper holes up here where the water funnels down into them. and you really should have no problem with water staying in the kayak. Now let's talk about storage really quickly. We're gonna go over all storage as far as the back and in the middle here. You get two nice side pockets, great for your pliers, great for extra hooks, sunscreen, your anchor sometimes, or fish grips. They store a lot of things. They're great features, and I use them all the time. You also have these two accessory tracks, one on each side, so you can put your rod holders, you know, your GoPro mounts, anything that designed for a kayak accessory, you can add onto those tracks. The storage in the back here, it's really great, especially for us YouTubers. We carry a lot of stuff, and when I mean a lot of stuff, I mean a lot of stuff. Cameras, extra tackle bags, drinks, coolers, you know, because we're always out on the water. We need our fluids, we need our camera, we need our tackle. This trunk is great. It's got nice bungees here so you can strap down. Let's say you want to make sure your tackle bag doesn't fall in the water. You can bungee it right up. You also have some storage right here. I've never personally used this. I don't believe Josh has either. But if you have like an anchor or something you want to keep under your seat, or if you want to do like a through hull wiring for, you know, your transducers and stuff, this is a good way to get into the middle of your hull, and it locks really easily. Also, you have a nice little storage compartment under the seat here, and I think it's kind of underrated. It hides away just like so, but that's where I keep the anchor a lot of times because I'm always having to use it. So I just simply slide it, reach up under my seat, I place it right here, and when I'm moving throughout the day, the anchor can't intrude on me, but it stays nice in place, and it's on the kayak hull, so you know you're not beating up your non-skid and stuff like that. So it's a really good place to store your anchors. Anything that can get wet, that it really doesn't, or it's not going to bother you getting wet. Now as far as the seat goes and inside the kayak, it's a very, very spacious design. Now I will say, if you're a shorter human being like myself, it kind of sucks because you're not getting to use the full design of the kayak. So if you're a lot taller, you know, you slide your seat back here and you can still reach these pedals. You have a lot of deck space, like a lot. So that's an advantage for a taller person when it comes to this particular kayak and a lot of pedal drive systems, is you get a lot more deck space if you can go back this far. Myself personally, I have to keep it up here. And as you can see, it cuts off, you know, a quarter of your deck space. But it's really not that bad. It doesn't bother me at all. But that's one little knock that I have for a shorter person, if you're shorter and you're looking at this kayak. The seat, super comfortable. That's all I gotta say about it. It's, you know, it's nice and mesh. If your butt gets wet, it'll dry quick, but no problem with it. Now, this doesn't have adjustable seating like a lot of their other kayaks where you could go to a lower seated position or a higher seated position. I believe this is only one seating position. So what you get is what you get. You get 3 rod holders built into the hull on this kayak, 2 rear facing and 1 forward facing, which is over here. This is one thing that I thought was interesting about the design, is they put the forward facing rod holder right here by your knob that controls your rudder. So if you keep your fishing rod just like so, and you got your hand, let's move the seat out of the way. If you got your hand here maneuvering, now I know it doesn't seem like, you know, too much right now. This is a super light outfit, but if you have a bigger reel right here, it can kind of get in your way. So that's one little quirk that I noticed about the kayak, but I've gotten used to it, really no problem. Now that we're at the rudder control here, I'll tell you a little bit about it. You have a tension knob, so if you want your steering to be a little bit tighter, you can just use this tension knob. It's really nice that it's right there on your rudder control and it's all one system. Your rudder's back here. It's actually controlled by the rudder ploy system here. So you fold that up and it goes up, and you fold it down and it goes down. Now let's go ahead. I've given you a lot of facts about the kayaks. Let's go ahead and get it out on the water, and I'm going to tell you guys a couple other things that I love about the Topwater 120 PDL. All right, guys, now that I got you out here on the Topwater 120 PDL by Old Town, you can see the first thing you could probably notice is how much deck room that I actually lose here. So this is the nice little sea deck here that Old Town incorporates into the kayak itself, and it goes way back under here, right about here. So a taller person, you know, can use that. I sadly cannot because I'm a little bit shorter. But that's definitely not a deal breaker with this kayak. I've talked a lot about, you know, the facts and what the kayak has to offer, but what do I think about it? You know, I've been using this kayak on and off for about 2-3 months now, and I love it. It is an amazing platform. The Topwater 120 is still a relevant kayak, so if you're in the market for a new kayak, do not overlook the Topwater 120. It is still one of the best pedal drive kayaks that I know of. There's still a lot of room, there's a lot of storage, it's extremely fast, and the best thing about it is just how stable it is. So I'm gonna stand up here. This kayak is designed with a double U hull from what I'm under the understanding of, and it is very, very stable. So I can lean on, you know, as you can see, look at that. I have not flipped this kayak at all, nor have I come close to flipping this kayak. I feel extremely comfortable all the time. We fish in some really, really nasty weather, especially with COVID-19 being around. Some of the best times to fish is actually the roughest weather, and these kayaks handle the water perfectly. I mean, we've been out in 1 to 3 foot waves and, you know, white caps, super nasty in the Tampa Bay, and I have no doubt in my mind that this kayak can handle it. I used to be a little bit skeptical when I first started kayak fishing. I used to be a little skeptical when Josh would call on me and say, hey, let's go out in this super nasty weather. But once he put me in this Topwater 120, man, she cuts through waves and she's super comfortable. So seriously, if you guys are in the kayak fishing market, make sure you look at this kayak. Let's just see how fast she actually goes. So as you can see, I'm cranking down on her pretty good. I think you can get it going nearly 5 knots. But it only takes one pedal, like one full pedal, to really get this kayak moving because of the stiffer pedal drive system. And as you could see, I slowed down a little bit and she still moves super well. I got my rudder system, steering system right here, and it's very responsive. It's actually probably the most responsive system that I've used on a kayak. You can turn this thing on a dime. Now it doesn't have the best overall turning radius, but really no kayak does with the pedal drive system. Watch this instant reverse. So we're going forward here, watch this. Instantly, you're going in reverse. We're going backwards. And you can go fast as well. So that's super useful if you're fishing mangroves or anything with structure where you gotta, you know, horse a fish out of the trees and you're not, you know, your rod may not have the leverage. Your kayak can add additional leverage. Let's check out this turning radius. So here you go, I got the rudder slammed down. So it's not the best in the world, but it's not the worst either. I mean, once you get used to it, used to the system, and you know, a pedal drive kayak, if you've never used one, they can be, you know, a little bit different when turning. I compare it to a jet ski. You know, it doesn't turn right away. It kind of turns as you get going. So the faster you go, the faster you actually turn. So you've heard facts about the kayaks. You watched me play around a little bit on it out here on the water. I've got a lot of hours spinning the Topwater 120 PDL. It's a great kayak. So if you're looking at a kayak, this might be the one for you. You know, when you're in the market, make sure you're weighing your options. You know, what do you want as an angler, or, you know, just a recreational kayaker? What are you looking for in a kayak? If you're looking for stability, if you're looking for moderate speed, you know, it gets going pretty good, a lot of storage, and overall comfortable, and one of the best systems in its price point, check out the Topwater 120 PDL by Old Town Canoes and Kayaks. You will not be let down, I promise you. You know, this drive, super stable. I think they got a great warranty on it. The hull is a lifetime warranty, so if you get a hole in it or a crack, you contact Old Town, they're gonna take care of you. I mean, man, it's just all the details. They pay attention to all the details. It's a super duper kayak. That's what I'm gonna say about it. But hey, you know, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know this video has already gone on long enough, but if you were in the market for this kayak, I know it helped you out. And if it did, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the page if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below. What kind of kayak do you have already? Are you in the market for this particular kayak? Are you looking at other kayaks? Leave a comment about anything. I love hearing from you guys. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace.